My stepdaughter wants her real dad to give her away. Plus update. Original story. My stepdaughter will be getting married on August 3rd. The wedding planning has consumed most of her and her mother's life. I say her mother because we aren't married, though we've lived together for 10 years, for the past 6 months. My stepdaughter graduated last December from university. I paid for her to go to college, though it was a state school. It still ran $40K. She does not have a job and has been living with us for the duration of her college career and since her graduation. I also bought her a car to get back and forth from school when she finished high school. From time to time, her deadbeat father would pop into her life and she would fawn all over him. Although he has not contributed a cent to her education or paid any child support, though that is my girlfriend's fault, as CS was not part of the settlement, she still loves him and wants him in her life. He stays long enough to break her heart by skipping town and breaking some promise that he made her. The wedding venue holds 250 people max. I gave them a list of 20 people that I wanted invited, since I was paying for everything. They told me that was no problem and they'd take care of it, so I let these people know they'd be getting an invite and they should save the date. Saturday, I saw one of my friends on this list at the golf course and asked if he was coming. He told me that he wasn't invited. He told me that he got an announcement, but not an invitation. He had it in his back seat, along with probably 6 months of mail, and showed it to me. Sure enough, it was just an announcement, and my name was nowhere on it. It had her dad's name and her mom's name, and not mine. This led to a pretty big fight with my GF, as I found out that none of my list of 20 made the cut for the final guest list because 250 people is very tight. I was pissed, but not a hell of a lot I could do because the important people in my life had already been offended. My GF said if some people didn't RSVP yes, I might be able to get a couple people in. But that is an ultimate slap in the face in my opinion. So, I was boiling on Saturday. Yesterday, we had a Sunday dinner with the future in-laws family and us, and a surprise guest, the real dad. At this little dinner, my stepdaughter announced that her real dad was going to be able to make it to her wedding and that now he'd be able to give her away. This was greeted with a chorus of, "Oh, how great," and "how wonderfuls." I don't think I have ever felt so angry and so disrespected. I was shaking. I took a few seconds to gather my composure because I honestly wasn't sure if I would cry or start throwing punches or both. Once I was sure I'd be able to speak, I got up from my chair and said, I'd like to make a toast. I can't remember exactly what I said, but the gist of it was this. I'd like to make a toast. The sound of spoons against glasses ring in my ears. It has been my great pleasure to be a part of this family for the past 10 years. Aw, how sweet. At this point in my life, I feel I owe a debt of gratitude to bride and groom because they have opened my eyes to something very important. Confident smiles exchanged. They have showed me that my position in this family is not what I once thought it was. And now a glimmer of confusion and shock begins to spread on the faces in the room. Though I once thought of myself as the patriarch or godfather of the family, commanding great respect and sought out for help in times of need, it seems instead that I hold the position of an ATM, good for a stream of money, but not much else. As I have been replaced as host, both on the invitations and in the ceremony, I am resigning my financial duties as host to my successor, Real Dad. So cheers to the happy couple and the path they have chosen. I finished my drink. You all can let yourselves out. Is this selfish? I'm supposed to shell out 40 to 50 grand for a wedding that I can't invite anyone to? That I am not a part of? I'm so done with this crap. I'm done with my stepdaughter. I'm done with my GF. I transferred the money out of our joint account last night. She has not had a job since she moved in with me. This morning, I called all the vendors I had written checks to for deposits to refund my money. At present, it looks like I'll lose around $1,500 for the venue, but the other vendors have been great about refunding. Now for the updates. First update. The immediate aftermath was tantrum and people sitting there mumbling while not actually saying anything to me, but to each other. After much yelling with the GF about me being selfish, I spent the night in my home office and no one knocked on my door. Not once. Today's aftermath is kind of depressing for me. GF brought me Bride's wedding planner to show me how much work I was ruining. I thumbed through it, found a page in the music section for father-daughter dances. All of the songs were catered to real dad's taste, so I thought they were just being disrespectful, but now I'm feeling like they never really gave a crap at all, especially since the menu included 2 ingredients I'm allergic to. That actually made me laugh. Either way, I'm glad to be done, returned the planner and asked her when she and Bride could move out. Also, I never promised to pay for the wedding. I offered them the use of my home when they were sure it was going to be small. But other than that, all I've heard is how it's the bride's family that should pay. So, let it be the bride's family then, aka not me. Final update, girlfriend and bride are now moved out. They are moving in with the groom. It was very hard not to be petty with some of the belongings they took with them. But it's done, and I switched out the locks, and now it's time for a brew. I can't believe how popular this story got, but I feel good to be given support by so many. If I find out what happens with the wedding, I will let you know, but I can't guarantee that I will put in the effort to find out. From what I've heard, they are trying to scale things back and get his parents to help out. GF burned bridges when I found out she tried to write herself a check on our joint account the day after the unpleasantness. By then, I had already moved money, so I guess I'm a bigger ass than her, but I could feel it coming. That's all. Thanks. Story 2. I had the opportunity for revenge, but I couldn't do it. Plus 11-month update. Original story. I found out a month ago that the love of my life and my best friend have been having an affair for at least the past year. After looking into it more, not only did all our friends know, but they have also been actively hanging out with them. I'm a socially awkward individual, so making friends for me is hard. I met all of them through my best friend, so I guess it is natural they chose him over me. I hated all of them. I spent 24/7 with one of them when their parent died because they didn't want to be alone and were a danger to himself. I was there for another when her boss was harassing her and she needed help finding a new job. I let another one stay at my place for free for 3 months because his parents kicked him out when he told them he was gay. All 6 of those A-less have been through so much, and I was there for every one of them. Now I realize they all just kept me around to use me when they needed, including my GF and best friend. I helped the man start his business when no one would invest in him. Still hasn't really taken off, and he still asks for my time to help him do things. I've been working day and night to help her pay of the medical bills from her surgery after she had an accident. I've been out of the house for a few months because my mother was sick and I needed to help her, but I still commute back tenors every weekend to make sure my GF is doing all right. I have gone through her phone and seen all the pictures, the flirty messages, and the group chats, all of them planning outings, meetings, and whatnot. I have seen the disparaging messages about me, the I love yous, and them basically flip-flopping between still loving me, leaving me, not wanting to hurt me anymore, and then realizing they need me. They all still need me. I was pissed, and I was so angry I scared myself. The thing about being the go-to guy for help and being the quiet one is that people trust you. They tell you things that can get you in a lot of trouble. I spent the past month preparing my plan, getting everything in order to absolutely implode their lives in a way you can never recover without someone altruistically helping you out. But who will help them? Not me, and they can't ask each other because they will all be in the same damn boat. Everything was ready. I had pictures, videos, and text logs. The lease would have been up in December, and I wasn't renewing that. I have a new job lined up, which would pay less, but I know I will enjoy. All my main items were out, and the rest I didn't care for. I pretended to go out to my mom's. I waited an hour and came back. I could see them through the windows, him and her cuddling and kissing, while they all sat around chatting like it's a regular day. I took a picture of that scene. I was ready to send the texts and emails, basically ready to set their lives ablaze. I couldn't. No matter how much someone has hurt me, I can't be responsible to ruining someone's life. Sure, they did the things, and I was just unearthing them. It would still have been my decision that burned them all, and there would have been collateral damage to people who did nothing. I had come this far and had to do something, so I just sent the picture in a group chat and looked in. One by one, they checked the message and started panicking, I guess. One of them finally spots my car, and I see them all look at me. I don't know what was going in their heads. Was it panic, regret, guilt, sadness? Who knows? I started my car, and as I started driving off, my ex came out barefoot in the cold, moving as fast as she could in her state. I don't know if she was crying because of guilt or regret, but I didn't care. I drove off to my mom. They called me a bunch of times and sent me thousands of messages. I used to read all of them, and with each one, I felt less for them. It went from asking to forgiveness, to anger, to groveling, basically to questions about how they will do the things I used to do for all of them. I don't care. I'm getting a new number on Monday. I still get a new sobbing voicemail from my ex every 20 to 30 minutes asking for me to come back. I get texts my ex-best friend to come back and beat him up, that he would sell everything he owns and give it to me. My friends apologizing for their parts and wanting to be pals again. I don't know what drives this, but they know I've read some of them. I think I'm over it. I don't feel angry anymore, and I feel happy I didn't do what they did to me. It would have never been satisfying for me. Now for the update. Hi everyone. I happen to remember this account, so I decided why not update you all. First of all, my mom is doing much better and is preparing for a 5K. Her goal is to complete one by 2025. Thank you for all your well wishes. I would like to tell you everything with me is going great and I'm doing amazing. That my ex-friends in GF are doing terribly and are destitute. Life isn't a movie or a storybook, and things don't work out the way we would like them to. But it can get pretty close to one. I am doing amazing. My new job has been one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. Since I stopped paying for unnecessary medical bills and rent for a place I never really cared for, I've saved up so much money. I decided to finally invest that money in something worthwhile. Myself. I didn't hit the gym or anything, but I did get some work done on my teeth. They had some minor discoloration. When they shaped it for a crown and removed the layers, it looked like it was painted with Pepsi or something. It was a boost in confidence. I started buying more and more clothes and building outfits. I started anti-anxiety meds, which have brought me out of my shell. I feel so much better. I met someone a few weeks ago. We've just been talking through text, and it seems to be going well. I don't really know what's going on with the people I left behind. I heard rumors that came from a long chain of people, so don't trust them really. My ex and ex-best friend are having a baby, which has caused financial issues for them with the medical debt and struggling business venture, but are somehow making it work. The girl whom I helped get a job was caught in an affair with her boss. He may or may not be married, it's unclear, who threw her under the bus professionally to save himself, but seems to have landed on her feet because the company wanted to avoid a scandal. Another one of them has gotten engaged to his GF. Last I remember, he was single, so don't even know how long they've been involved. The one I housed for 3 months is doing fine as well, but may have gotten an STD from one of his one-night buddies. I have no information on the last dude. So, a mixed bag of good for me and a little bad for them, but not terrible. Just normal life issues. It's as close as one gets to karmic justice, I guess. The last contact I had with my ex was an email 6 months ago. She detailed how sorry she was about the fallout of her actions. She just fell in love with him while still loving me and didn't really know how to proceed from there. It was a bad time for her, as she relied on me so much that made her get resentful, and something about being with him made her feel in control. She ended it with how much she regrets her actions and the hurt she caused, but doesn't regret loving me or him, and that she still loves us both and will always be here if I need her. I never responded because there was no need. I can understand her perspective in this. Doesn't mean I condone her actions, but I can somewhat forgive her and move on from this permanently. Humans are complex, and so is love. Sometimes we hurt the ones we love the most. While I don't like her or her actions, I do believe she loved us both. She doesn't seem to have any reason to lie. Anyway, che la vie. Have a good evening, guys, and don't spend your energy getting upset or anything on my behalf.